I was half asleep when someone knocked on my door. "Who is it?" I called, pulling on a shirt. "It's me," a voice said, soft but urgent. I opened the door and froze. Ilara. She stood there in a silk dress, hair slightly messy, cheeks flushed like she had been running. "Can I come in?" she asked. "It's late," I said, still holding the door. "I know," she said. "Please." Something in her eyes made me step aside. She brushed past me, her perfume trailing after her. "You all right?" I asked, closing the door. She didn't answer right away. She walked straight into my room, sat on my bed like she owned it, and looked at me. "Your couch was too far," she said when she caught my stare. "Ilara, what are you doing here?" I asked, standing in the doorway. "My husband is away? I just needed someone to talk to." "You could have called," I said. "I didn't want to call," she said, her voice low. "I wanted to be here." I stayed silent, unsure what to do. She crossed her legs, the silk fabric shifting against her skin. "You're not going to offer me a drink? You want water?" "Wine." I hesitated. "You sure that's a good idea? Do I look like I came here for water?" She asked with a faint smile. I grabbed a bottle from the kitchen and poured 2 glasses. When I came back, she was lying back on the bed, propped on her elbows. "You look nervous," she said as I handed her the glass. "Because you're on my bed. You want me to move?" "No," I said too quickly. Her smile deepened. "Then sit down." I sat at the edge of the bed, leaving space between us. "You're still so careful," she said, sipping slowly. "Even after all this time? What are we talking about exactly?" She shrugged. Me. The way you look at me when you think I'm not watching." I felt my throat tighten. "You shouldn't be saying that. Why not?" she asked. "Because you're married. Married doesn't mean blind. Married doesn't mean I can't feel lonely." I stared at the floor. "Does Marcus know you're here?" "No," she said softly. "And don't tell him." "Ilara." "Say it," she interrupted. "Say you won't tell him." "I won't." "Good." She put her glass down on my nightstand and moved a little closer. "You ever think about me?" she asked. Her voice was so quiet, I almost missed it. But the question hit like a punch. Asterisk. "You didn't answer me," she said. My mouth was dry. "About what?" "Whether you think about me?" I looked away. "I try not to." "That sounds like a yes." I set my glass down, hoping to end the conversation. But she shifted closer. "You're quiet tonight," she said. "I wasn't expecting you. That's what makes this exciting, Ilara. You can't just show up like this." "I can if you open the door." "You shouldn't be here, but I am," she said, her voice softer now. "And I don't want to leave yet." Her perfume was stronger this close. My chest felt tight. "You said you wanted to talk," I said. "So talk." She leaned back, staring at the ceiling. "He's been gone for 3 weeks. He barely calls. When he does, it's about work. I feel like I don't exist. That's not something I can fix." "You can listen," she said. Glancing at me, I sat still, letting her speak. "I used to think marriage meant safety," she continued. "Now it feels like a locked door I can't open. You married him for a reason. I married him because he made me feel wanted. Lately he doesn't even look at me. That's between you and him. Then why am I here?" she asked. I had no answer. She reached for my hand, just a small touch, but it felt like heat shooting through me. "You're shaking," she said. "I'm not." "Yes." "You are," she said, smiling faintly. I pulled my hand back, but the damage was done. "You came here because you're lonely," I said. "I came here because you still see me," she said. "Everyone else looks past me like I'm a piece of furniture." "You're not furniture, then." "Why do you look at me like you want to run away?" "Because I do," I said honestly. She laughed quietly. "You're the only man I know who wants me to leave when I sit on his bed. This is not a game." I said. "Maybe not for you," she said. "But for me, this is survival." I stared at her. "What does that mean?" "It means I need to feel alive again," she said. "You think sitting in my room does that?" It's a start. I didn't know what to say. She reached for my glass and took a sip like it was hers. You haven't? Told me why you're single? She said. It doesn't matter. It matters to me, she pressed. I was with someone. I said finally. She left when things got hard. Elara tilted her head. She sounds selfish. She was honest. She said I wasn't enough for her. Elara frowned. Then she was wrong. How would you know? Because I see the way you look at me. A man who looks at someone like that isn't not enough. I swallowed hard. You're crossing a line, so stop me, she said. I stood up, pacing toward the door. You should go. Do you want me to? Yes, I said, though it came out weak. Say it like you mean it. I turned back to her, my chest rising fast. Go home, Elara. Instead of leaving, she lay back on my bed, her hair spilling across the pillow. Then stay with me tonight, she said. Her voice was barely a whisper, but it was louder than anything I had ever heard. Asterisk. I meant it, I said, still standing near the door. You should go. You say that like you believe it, she said, still lying on my bed. I do. Then why are you still here talking to me? Because I'm trying to do the right thing. Her laugh was soft, playful. You make it sound like I'm tempting you. You are tempting me. She sat up, her silk dress catching the light as she moved. Good. I was starting to think I lost my touch, Elara. What? She asked innocently. You can't keep doing this. Doing what? She asked, tilting her head. Sitting here, talking to you, breathing. You know what you're doing, I said. She smiled, standing and closing the space between us. You look tense because you're standing too close. Then move. I didn't. You won't, she said, her voice quiet. Why are you really here? I asked. Her expression softened. Because you still see me? That can't be the only reason. It's the only one that matters, she said. I walked to the kitchen just to breathe. I'm making coffee, I said. Then I'll have some too. I heard her footsteps behind me. She leaned against the counter, close enough for her perfume to surround me again. You always make coffee when you're nervous? She asked. I make coffee when I need to think. She reached for a mug and handed it to me. Her fingers brushed mine. You're shaking again, she said. I'm fine. You're not. I turned to face her. What do you want from me? Maybe I want you to admit you want me here? That's not fair. Neither is being married to someone who forgets you exist, she said. I didn't reply. The coffee machine hissed. You know what he's doing right now? She asked. No. Neither do I, she said, her voice sharp. He hasn't called since Tuesday. I poured the coffee into her mug and handed it to her. That's between you and him. She took a sip, her eyes on me. I like that you don't pity me. I'm not sure what I feel right now. She smiled faintly. Good, feeling something is better than nothing. I leaned against the counter, trying to stay calm. You should talk to him. I'd rather talk to you. This is dangerous, I said. That's why it feels alive. My phone buzzed on the counter. I glanced down and froze. Marcus, a single text lit up the screen. Keep an eye on Elara while I'm away. My chest tightened as I read the message again. Keep an eye on Elara while I'm away. Did he know she was here? Was this a warning or a test? You just went pale, Elara said. What happened? Nothing. That didn't look like nothing. Work message, I said quickly. Sliding my phone face down on the counter. You're lying, she said. Stepping closer. I'm not. You are, she said, tilting her head. What's so bad you can't say it out loud? Drop it, Elara. Her lips curved in a knowing smile. You're scared of him. I'm not scared, I said too fast. Double quotes, yes you are. I can hear it in your voice. I just don't want trouble. You think this is trouble? She asked, picking up her coffee again. This is trouble, I said. She sipped slowly, her eyes locked on me. Then why aren't you telling me to leave? I already did. You didn't mean it. You don't know what I meant. I know exactly what you meant, she said. You wanted me to stay? I pushed my hand through my hair. You shouldn't be here. You keep saying that like it will make me walk out the door because it should. Then tell me you don't want me here. I hesitated. You can't say it, she said. Smiling like she had just won. Alara, he texted me, I blurted. Her smile faded. What did he say? He told me to keep an eye on you. Her brows lifted. That sounds like permission. That sounds like pressure. Does it scare you? She asked. It makes me feel like I'm standing on a minefield. She set the mug down. Then maybe you should stop standing still. I turned away from her. You think this is a game? Everything is a game if you know how to play it. This isn't funny. I'm not laughing. I faced her. If he finds out you're here, this ends badly. For who? She asked. For both of us. She stepped closer until there was barely space between us. You think he owns me? He's your husband. That's not an answer. I swallowed hard. Yes, I think he does. Her eyes darkened. Then prove him wrong. Alara, stop. You don't want me to stop, she said, her voice soft now. I stayed silent, my pulse hammering. You've been careful all night, she whispered. But careful isn't living. I took a step back. You're playing with fire. Then burn with me, she said. I froze. Say you don't want me, she challenged. I said nothing. She smiled faintly, moved closer until I felt her breath on my ear and whispered, Then kiss me if you're brave. Asterisk. My chest was tight as she stood inches from me. Kiss me, she whispered again. I leaned closer without thinking. My heart pounded so loud it felt like the whole room could hear it. Her lips were right there. I stopped. She didn't flinch. She just smiled like she had expected me to hesitate. I knew you wouldn't, she said softly. That's not fair. I said, It's honest, she replied, stepping back. You think I don't want to? I think you're scared of what happens after. She walked to the window, her silk dress catching the faint glow of the streetlights. You should be scared, I said. She touched the glass. Sometimes I wish I hadn't married him. I turned my head toward her. Don't say that. Why not? It's true. You can't take that back once you say it. I wouldn't want to. Her reflection stared back at me from the glass. You ever wonder what it's like to live with someone and feel completely alone? I stayed quiet. That's me every day, she said. I wake up next to him and feel like a ghost. That doesn't mean this is the answer. This, she asked, glancing over her shoulder. You and me? This room, tonight. Her expression softened. You're right. Maybe it isn't, but it feels like the first time someone actually sees me. I rubbed the back of my neck. You're making it hard to do the right thing. Then maybe the right thing isn't what you think it is, Alara. She faced me fully now, tears glistening in her eyes. I used to believe he loved me. Now I think he just likes the idea of me. That's not something you say lightly. It's not something I feel lightly either. I stepped toward her. You need to figure out what you really want. I am figuring it out, she said. That's why I came here. Her voice cracked just enough to pull something inside me apart. You should go home, I said. Softer this time. She nodded, wiping under her eye. I will. She walked past me toward the door. For a second I thought she was actually leaving. Then she turned, stepped close, and wrapped her arms around me. The hug was too long to be friendly, too tight to be casual, too warm to ignore. Asterisk, her arms stayed around me. Too long. Too close, Alara, I whispered, but my voice was rough. Unsteady, she didn't let go. I felt my hands rise on their own and rest on her waist. Her breath hitched. This isn't fair, I said. Nothing about this is fair, she replied. You should go. Do you want me to? I swallowed hard. I don't know. She tilted her head, searching my face. You're shaking. So are you. For a second. The air felt heavy enough to crush me. Then we heard it. Footsteps outside my door. We froze. Neither of us breathed. The sound lingered, then faded down the hall. Her body relaxed first. Mine didn't. That scared you, she said quietly. It scared you too. She stepped back just enough for our eyes to meet. "We can't do this. You're right, but you don't believe." "That?" she said. I didn't answer. "Tell me you don't want this," she challenged. I stayed silent. "That's what I thought," she whispered. "Ilara? This is dangerous." "So am I." She turned toward the door. My chest ached watching her walk away. She stopped with her hand on the handle. "Say something," I said. "You already know." "No, I don't." She looked over her shoulder. "Tomorrow night?" The question hit like a spark in dry wood. I didn't answer. "You'll think about it," she said softly. Then she left, leaving the door open just enough for the night air to drift in and leave me standing there, wondering if I'd already gone too far. Asterisk, I barely slept. Every sound outside my window made me think of her voice. By morning, I was pacing my apartment. Work emails sat unopened. Coffee tasted like nothing. "Get a grip," I muttered to myself. But I couldn't. I thought of her words again and again. Tomorrow night, when night finally came, I almost hoped she wouldn't show. Then there was a soft knock. My chest tightened. I opened the door. Ilara stood there, in a dark green silk dress this time, her hair loose. "You came," I said. "You left the door unlocked." I stepped aside. "Come in." She walked past me, her perfume following. "This time we sit here," she said, patting the couch. I sat next to her, keeping space between us. She noticed. "You're cautious tonight. You scared me yesterday. You scared yourself," she said. "Maybe have you told anyone?" "No." Her lips curved into a slow smile. "Good. This is our secret. That's what worries me." She leaned closer. "Secrets keep things alive, or they destroy them." She touched my knee lightly. "You think too much, and you don't think enough." Her eyes lingered on mine. "Maybe that's why I'm here." I exhaled sharply. "Why are you really here, Ilara?" "Because I can breathe here," she said. "Because when I'm with you, I feel like I exist." "You're married? You think I don't know that?" Her voice broke a little. I softened. "I'm not saying it to hurt you." "Then why does it hurt?" I looked away. "Because it hurts me too." She placed her hand over mine. "You're the only one who sees me. You keep saying that, because it's true." The room felt warmer. My heart was loud in my ears. "Say something," she whispered. "I don't know what to." "Hey, then don't say anything." Her fingers traced mine, slow, deliberate. My phone buzzed on the table. We both looked at it. Marcus. Video. Call. My blood went cold. Ilara's hand froze on mine. "Answer," she said softly. "What if he sees you?" "Then don't let him." The phone kept ringing. "Pick up," she said again, her voice sharper. I grabbed the phone and hit accept. Marcus's face filled the screen, calm but watchful. "Hey," I said, forcing a smile. "Where's Ilara?" He asked. "She's fine," I said. He narrowed his eyes. "Is she with you?" Ilara's fingers squeezed mine under the table. I held my breath, every muscle in my body locked. Marcus's face filled the screen, his jaw tight. "Is she with you?" He asked again. My throat went dry. Ilara's hand stayed on mine, nails pressing into my skin. "No," I said. His eyes narrowed. "You sure?" "Yes," I said, forcing my voice steady. "I haven't seen her." There was silence on the line, heavy and suspicious. "All right," he said finally. "If you do, tell her to call me. I've been trying to reach her all day." "I will," I said quickly. He stared at me a moment longer, then ended the call. I set the phone down. My chest pounding Ilara was watching me. "You lied," she said softly. "You wanted me to." Her lips curved into something between a smile and a dare. "I didn't make you. You didn't have to," I said. She tilted her head. "How did that feel?" "Awful." "Then why did you do it?" "Because I didn't want him to know you were here." "Exactly." I leaned back, running a hand through my hair. "You just put me in the middle of your marriage." Her eyes softened. "You could have told him the truth, and you'd be gone by now." "Do you want me gone?" I didn't answer. She stood and moved closer. her silk dress whispering against her legs. You made a choice, she said. You chose me tonight. Don't twist this. I'm not twisting anything. I'm saying you didn't have to lie. You did. For me, because it felt like the right thing to do in the moment. She smiled faintly. Then you do care. Of course I care, I said, louder than I meant to. Her smile widened. Say it again? I care about you, I said, quieter this time. Her shoulders relaxed, like she had been waiting for those words. I feel safe with you now, she said. Safe. Yes. I know you won't betray me. That's a lot of trust for one night. It's not just tonight, she said. It's everything. The way you look at me. The way you hesitate before touching me. The way you think you're hiding how much you want me. My pulse jumped. Elara. She stepped closer. Close enough that I could see the reflection of my own face in her eyes. I want to show you why I came here in the first place, she whispered. Her fingers brushed mine. Asterisk. Her fingers lingered on mine. Why did you come here, Elara? I asked. She sat on the edge of the couch, her back straight, eyes fixed on the floor. Because I needed to know if I could still feel something, she said. I leaned forward. Feel what? Anything that's not an answer? She looked up at me, eyes glistening. Marcus doesn't touch me. He doesn't talk to me unless it's about business or schedules. I wake up every day feeling invisible. My chest tightened. That doesn't mean this is the answer. She moved closer. Then why does this feel like it is? Because it's dangerous, I said. Exactly, Elara. This isn't a game. Her jaw tensed. Do you think I'm playing? I shook my head. I think you're hurting. She reached for my hand. I am. And tonight I wanted to remember what it's like to be wanted. My breath caught. You didn't have to pick me for that. Yes, I did, she said. You're the only one who looks at me like I matter. That doesn't make it right. Maybe not, she said softly. But it makes it real. Silence stretched between us. I finally said, You deserve more than this. Her grip on my hand tightened. Say that again? You deserve more. She closed her eyes, letting out a shaky breath. No one said that to me in years. I hesitated, then placed my other hand over hers. She didn't pull away. You scare me? I admitted. Why? Because I don't trust myself when you're here. Her lips curved into the faintest smile. Good. We stayed like that for a long time, hands intertwined, talking in quiet voices. What would you do if he found out? I asked. Her expression turned unreadable. I don't know. Maybe I want him too. Elara, she cut me off. You don't know what it's like to feel trapped. I stared at her. Then leave him. It's not that simple. Why not? Because he owns everything, she said. The house. The money. Even my car. If I walk away with nothing. You're stronger than that. She gave me a sad smile. Maybe, but tonight I just wanted to feel human again. I brushed her hair back from her face. You are human, her breath hitched. I leaned closer, my pulse racing, then a loud knock hit the door. We froze. Another knock, harder this time. A voice called out, deep and unmistakable. Elara? Her eyes went wide. Elara, I know you're in there, Marcus said. My stomach dropped. She grabbed my wrist, her voice barely a whisper. Don't open it, asterisk. Elara, Marcus's voice boomed through the door. Open up. Elara's grip on my wrist tightened. Hide, she whispered. Elara, please. She slipped into my bedroom without another word. The knocking got louder. Open the door or I'll call the building manager. Marcus shouted. I swallowed hard and unlocked the door. Marcus stood there. Tall, polished, his face tight with suspicion. Evening, I said, forcing calm. Have you seen my wife? I hesitated just enough for him to notice. No, his jaw tightened. Mind if I come in? I stepped aside. Go ahead. He walked in, scanning every corner. His shoes clicked against my floor, loud and deliberate. She turned her phone off, he said. Maybe. She went out with a friend. She doesn't have friends here, he said flatly. I kept my hands at my sides. Pretending to be relaxed, Marcus's eyes landed on the couch. Smells like her perfume. I forced a laugh. Maybe I just have good taste in candles. He didn't smile. You're nervous, he said. It's late. Anyone would be nervous with a man banging on their door. He took a step closer. I trust you. Don't make me regret that. I haven't seen her, I repeated. The silence stretched, then he turned toward the door. If she calls you, tell her I'm done playing games, he said. I will. He left without another word. I shut the door and leaned against it, my breath finally leaving me. Ilara stepped out of my bedroom, her silk dress brushing against the frame. You lied again, she said. You asked me to. Her faint smile made my stomach twist. And you did it. You almost got us caught. Her eyes glimmered. That was the point. What? Now you know what it feels like to be me, she said, stepping closer. My heart thudded hard against my ribs. Marcus called me the next morning. Dinner tonight, he said. You, me, Ilara. I froze. All of us. Yes. 7 sharp. Don't be late. He hung up. When I arrived, Ilara was already seated at the long glass table. She didn't look at me right away. Marcus poured wine. Glad you could join us. I sat down slowly. What's this about? He smirked. Just a friendly dinner? Ilara shifted in her seat. Marcus raised a hand. Relax. I'm not angry. I kept my eyes on my plate. Then why am I here? He leaned back, studying me. Because I like honesty. And you were honest enough to lie for her. Ilara's fork clinked against her plate. You knew? I asked. Of course I knew. He smiled without warmth. You think I travel without cameras in my own house? My chest tightened. You saw everything? Everything, he said. Ilara's face went pale. Marcus, this is exactly what you wanted, he cut in. She glared at him. You left me alone for weeks and you went looking for trouble, he said coolly. I pushed my chair back. Why am I here then? Marcus looked at me like I was a curiosity. Because I wanted to thank you. For what? For keeping her entertained while I was gone? My stomach dropped. You're joking, he said. I never joke, he replied. I looked at Ilara. She finally met my eyes. But hers were wet with something like regret. Say something, I said to her. She opened her mouth, closed it, and whispered, I didn't think he'd find out. Marcus laughed softly. She wanted to feel alive. You gave her that. Now we're even. I stood up. You're sick. No, Marcus said calmly. I'm in control. I turned to Ilara. Was this all a game to you? Her voice cracked. No, not with you. I stepped away from the table. I can't do this. Marcus didn't move. Doors open. I walked out without looking back. My heart raced the whole way home. Weeks later, I saw Ilara across the street. She noticed me but looked away quickly, her shoulders tense. For the first time, she was the one avoiding my eyes. Maybe karma finally caught her.